Hello and welcome to NDM TV. I'm your host, Gary Murphy, and want to thank you for tuning in to YouTube today. And remember, click the subscribe button and you'll get more of what you're going to see here in just a few minutes. I have a great guest, Brant Fricker, and he is a guru when it comes to marketing. I am excited about having him, and we're going to talk about some ways you businessmen and women can take ideas and deploy them for advertising in your business at a very low cost. You're going to want to stay tuned right after this. Hello and welcome back. As I mentioned, I have a great friend and great creative guy with me today, Brant Fricker.
How you doing, Gary?
It's so good to have you.
It's great to be with you.
You know, what I'm excited about is talking about is that we have a lot of businessmen that tune into the show just to kind of get an inside peek about advertising, and that is something that's been your passion, is helping businessmen promote their business and deploy programs that will actually work for them and within their budget.
Yes, sir.
So things have changed.
Oh man, they sure have. I started in 1984, Gary.
Yeah.
And I've seen the trends change. It's mind blowing. It's never been easier. It's never been easier
if you understand it.
If you understand it.
That's
yeah.
true.
And one time I met a guy. I said, you know, what do you charge for your services? Because this day and age, it's not just one thing I need to get. You have to have a multiplicity of things, and they all have to work together.
It's you know, the days of having one medium do the trick, and it used to be when I was a young buck, you know, you could buy newspaper, do television, and you'd have a large enough universe there. And if you had the money, that was the other problem. It was expensive because they did have such big audiences, and the large companies could afford it, whereas the smaller businessman with one or two locations had a tough time doing it. But if you could break that budget barrier and get this stuff, you only have to use one medium and he's there.
That's right.
I mean, but today it's so different. There's so many things, you know, you could have used radio, but today you got to kind of fit the media plan to what the demographic and the market that the particular business is going after.
And understand where people are financially.
Well, true.
You know, I mean, I've seen the trends change, so have you. And that's why I wrote Hollywood Marketing on a Mayberry Budget, because that's where people are right now.
Now that is a great program.
Thank
and
you.
Folks, we're going to be able to bring that to Tulsa. And Brant, you're from out of Arkansas.
Well, I live in the mountains of Arkansas.
You live in the mountains of
Arkansas. But I was born in Oklahoma City.
Okay, he's an Oklahoma boy.
And I did a lot of broadcasting in Tulsa.
But you really enjoy being in the country, don't you?
Oh, it's like going on vacation when I go home. But you have to understand, though, that I'm pretty mobile, and I come to Tulsa quite a bit now.
Yeah. And we get to see each other often.
I like that.
But he's agreed to bring in this program, which is a Hollywood marketing on a
Mayberry Budget.
I was going to say beer budget.
That's what you are, you know?
It's close enough.
Well, you know, Gary, I wrote it in 2005.
Yeah.
It's still relevant. It still works. It's still ahead of its time. And I've updated the information.
Right.
But I felt like I was supposed to study the Great Depression, and now I know why. Because it hit Tulsa, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
But you know what? From celebrities to Lexus to big corporations, multi-million-dollar corporations, to small town businesses, I've worked with all of them, and the principles are the same.
The principles are the same.
They
Absolutely.
are. They are. You know, Hollywood. I mean, why would people say Hollywood?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Hollywood has a kind of a negative connotation lately, but you know what? No one does it like Hollywood. But this is a Hollywood-driven culture.
It used to be a Madison Avenue,
right?
And then it changed to Hollywood.
Oh my gosh,
where the influence came from.
Well, and you know, you see throughout the generations.
That's the thing you're talking about. Is where the influence is.
Exactly.
The Hollywood is the influence that influences the culture. So you got to know where those buttons are.
Well, think about what they do.
You know, design it.
Oh, that they tell us what to buy.
Yep.
They tell us how quickly we can get it, how happy we'll be once we have it.
Once we have it, yeah.
You know, and so what I did is I took Hollywood's formula that I saw through almost 3 decades, and I've been applying that.
It's kind of we don't want to reveal too much here because we'd love you to come to the seminar, and we're going to announce that. So stay tuned. But the it's a mix between the new media, the traditional media, and just some good old-fashioned what we call guerrilla marketing.
Right, right.
And you mix them together, and they make quite a good stew.
Yeah, they do. And you, Gary. I mean, you've got some cutting-edge stuff. In addition to all the things you do, with
although
with the
I'm trained traditional, I use the most up-to-date stuff.
Right, but you also know the good business is now built on relation. It always has been relationships.
You can't.
But now it's with people too, and
it's so easy now to do that though. See, years ago, if you didn't hang with the Hollywood, not with the Hollywood crowd or the country club crew, and you didn't go to all the special things at the Tulsa, Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
There's 100 of them.
Right.
All the little galas and stuff like that. You weren't in the inn, and it was hard to get noticed and recognized. But today we have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. There's just so many avenues where you can build that relationship. Now, it is not a full, complete relationship, and you still need to, squeeze the flesh, as they say, and get out and be with people and treat people in the business special that come to you and your customers. But that social media is quite an interesting thing. You really practice a lot of that just in your personal day-to-day. I see all kinds of great posts that you put up. You'll be driving back home in the evening after visiting Tulsa, and I'll see a little notice pop up on my phone, and I'll say, hey, what's Brant? And he's philosophizing usually about marketing or about his love for people and who he just met today. I mean, you'd have a good time with it.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, some things never change. Some principles never change, and it's still the number one reason why people buy a product at the end of the day is the person.
They enjoy doing business.
It's still that way.
People that they feel comfortable
and so
with.
what happens is, as you are developing your business, no matter what kind of business it is, and we work with people from authors, to celebrities, to small businesses, to organizations, to multimillion. It doesn't matter. A person is a diamond, and what you do when you're using social media, when you have a combination of professional video, for example, and then some what I call dashboard devotionals or whatever. That actually got me a TV show, by the way.
Oh, wow.
But when you let people see different facets of you, because this culture, is always changing, Gary. But I mean, they love professional video. They love reality video. They love reality video on a professional set. They love professional video on a reality set, and they love reality. But there is a way to leverage your social media, with your websites, with your print ad, with your campaigns and all the new stuff that you do, and television. Get them all working together and show people different facets of who you are. Because if it still is true, and it is, that people do business because they like you, then don't you want to show them that you're a real person? And so there's a way to do that.
Yeah, and I think too, you can never forget that it's a creative medium to reach people.
Yeah.
You've got to be creative in how you reach people, and that creativity needs to be in a format that is, I mean, quality.
Yeah.
You got to have a quality.
Right.
And a lot of people aren't trained in that, and that's where professionals come in. We're going to talk a little bit more about the actual seminar, and maybe you can kind of unveil the onion a little bit here and peel a few leaves off. And so we'll be back, though, with that right after this.